Good morning and welcome to Phoenix Rising. I'd like to introduce you to my guests, Lindsay Reeve, who you have seen before, and Jay Shepard, who you may have seen before but not on the show.
We'll see him again.
We're going to have so much fun today. They were checking with the mics and stuff and having some great music play. So we're going to do a little conversation, a little music, a little conversation, a little music, and back and forth. So Lindsay, I'm going to introduce you first, a little background, and then we're going to go to our star in the middle here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No,
Lindsay is my star too.
It's about Jay today.
Hey, Linz, what's up?
Hey, nothing much.
This is an extension of the coffee house.
Yeah, it should be too. I should bring some of the old EastEnders guitars. I still have them with the stickers. We could stick them in the
That would
background.
be awesome.
Yeah.
So for the folks that don't know you, who are you?
I'm a local Riverhead farm kid that decided not to farm anymore. And got a town civil service job and finally retired from that 31 years later. So I'm living the dream. And I play music, and since then, my side hustles are music and taking people to the airports and things like that.
Right.
So.
And you also book music.
Oh yeah, I'm a booking agent for four different
So how do
places.
people get in touch with you to talk to you about music and bookings?
They can do LindsayReeve.com for that. Yeah. If they want to get in touch with me about
LindsayReeve.com?
Yeah, Lindsay Reeve, I'm sorry, at yahoo.com.
Thank you. I knew there was something missing
here.
here.
Yeah, something was missing. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah. And if you can't find it, you could always contact me and I'll get you in touch with Lindsay.
Yeah.
So, and Lindsay started coming out of the closet with his music at the coffee house.
Yeah, coming out of the closet with my music, yeah. I've always played harmonica since I was a teenager, but since then, really never in front of anybody but my dogs and once I had kids, my kids.
Yeah.
Any captive audience that I knew couldn't get away from me.
Yeah.
And otherwise, I always had one in my pocket. And I was a truck driver many years ago, so I'd steer with my knee and play harp to the stereo.
You still do that?
Yeah. I shouldn't, but I still do.
Yeah. We're telling you secrets.
Yeah.
Hopefully, no Riverhead cops are watching the show.
No, those are all good guys. Riverhead has
Yeah.
the best police force ever. They really do. Yeah. My uncle actually was chief many years ago. Yeah. Yeah. So I was.
You still get a jail-free card in your back pocket?
We better not talk about that. I hope so.
Really quiet. Really
If
quiet.
so, can I borrow it?
It's funny. I don't really have too much to go to jail for anymore.
No, none of us do. No.
It was a time, but not.
It was
not
a
in
time
long
that I
time
always
now.
carried my police benevolent card and stuff like that from Maggie or Terry Vale, and people like that would always give me a card and say,
Yeah.
the way you drive, you need this. Excuse me.
I have them, but I can't imagine needing
No,
them.
no.
But just in case, you never know.
I'm so glad you're back here.
I'm glad too.
And that you've brought Jay Shepard. Hey,
Yeah.
Jay Shepard.
Hey, what's up?
Welcome
got
to
to get to
Phoenix
know Jay
Rising.
Shepard.
So nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you too. I've heard a lot about you from
Uh-oh.
this gentleman over here. All the things.
It started with the World's Fair, by the way.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah. Fascinating. We need to have
I made a very big mistake. And
Big
a few
steak,
years
nothing.
ago, somebody interviewed me on the cable show up in Riverhead. And somehow she led into it. And then the whole world found out that I was a go-go girl. And
At
I
the World's
danced at
Fair.
the 1964 World's Fair.
I had so much
Danced
respect
at
for
the
you just
Peppermint
because of that.
Lounge, the Metropole. I had so much fun in
Oh,
those
yeah.
days. And I quit when they
Yeah.
went topless because for me it was about the music and
Yeah.
the dancing.
Right.
And as you both know, I was legally blind, so I would just take off the Coke bottle glasses, get on the bar or into the cage.
And you were by
dance.
yourself.
I was dancing for me, so I
Yeah,
could
sure.
care-
I started dancing when they went topless because
I bet you did, yeah. You wanted to get as
Transition.
close as you could,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So tell us about you, songwriter,
Yeah, I guess
Broadway musician.
formerly, but grew up with a family who just always had music on,
Yeah.
and that turned me on from since I can remember. And then bands through high school, college, came to New York around 2005.
Came from South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina, and
We're in
just
South Carolina.
near the coast. Florence is the
Florence
town.
is nice.
Okay,
Most of my
because
family's
my
still there.
youngest
Real nice.
son lives in Malden. That's more inland.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, but
Still
moving.
good boiled peanuts.
Oh man, collard greens, boiled peanuts, black
Yeah.
eyed peas, fatback, you name it. But so musician. I came to New York. Knew one person, started playing in bands, and just kind of snowball effect eventually. You know, my motto's always been, if you're a nice guy and you show up on time and you're moderately prepared, then people will want to call you back for another gig. So kind of just taking it. So far, so good. I've kind of just taken a gig to get a gig, you know. So yeah, it's been working. And then I ended up on Broadway through a twist of fate, playing on Rock of Ages for a couple years, and which I was working on until March 11th.
That had to be like a childhood dream.
Not really.
No?
It was my grandmother and my mom's childhood dream.
To have them, but
That
for
was
you.
the first people I called, because every time, you know, before that had toured, you know, all over, and I'd call my parents or my grandparents and they'd be like, I had a great gig. I just played in front of, you know, X amount of people at X venue, prestigious. That's nice, dear. Do you have health insurance? You know what I mean? So when Broadway,
Do you have any retirement plan?
yes, of course.
Yeah.
But when that was offered to me, I immediately thought, like, this is going to make them proud. So I did it, and I met a lot of great musicians, and we're still all really close to this day. But, you know, haven't seen those guys in 2 years or more.
That's
We
been
used
a
to
great
see
move for
8 days.
contacts, though.
Yeah, no, it was a great move.
Great.
Blondie, his guitar player, a good friend of mine, Tommy Kessler, is on that show. Joel Hoekstra from Whitesnake and Cher is the other guitar player. So it's a good crew to rub elbows with in New York,
It really
for sure.
is a sense of community. Even
Very
though you're
small.
miles away from each other, everyone has each other's back.
It's true. It's very
Yeah,
tight.
it's true.
Yeah.
And it's really was a fun gig. But now, you know, me and my wife moved. She's always been out in Riverhead since we met,
When
but
did you get married, Jay?
we got married very recently. It's funny you should ask. Leading the witness.
Yeah,
October 9th this past year.
that is so
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
They're still glowing.
yeah, newlywed. But we've been out here since then, since March 2020, and but I've been playing out here before that. I actually met my wife at what used to be Union Cantina in Southampton, playing, and you know, they kind of just fell in love with this area in the North Fork and the people, and some of it reminds me of the community and the vibes from down south, just easygoing, friendly people.
Yeah.
If you know where to look.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
you know
so
where to look. And like I live on a tree and vegetable farm, and it's
that's
just
beautiful.
heavenly. And you can't find my cottage unless you know exactly where to go.
I like that.
You
And
know,
there's a
it's
natural irrigation pond right behind her house, like a spitting distance from her door.
No kidding.
And in the summertime,
wildlife
the
there.
biggest sounding bullfrogs, man.
Oh, that's my man. That's my Barry White. That's my Barry
Oh,
White.
yeah, that's the Barry White.
Can't get
frog.
enough of your love,
No, I'll
babe.
be on the phone with my sister who lives in Nevada and say, I want you to hear my new boyfriend.
Yeah.
And I'll hold it up. And
He's
she goes,
like,
oh my God.
Yes,
Is
baby.
he in the house? She's like, close enough. You know, but and we have
I like the
egrets
Barry
in
White
the
frog.
pond, and it's, of course, you know, the Canada geese come by, and
The nature out here is just, you know,
It's
that's
just
what I
beautiful.
realized I've missed after living in the city for 12 years
Yeah.
full time. with
yeah, I was a
blinders on,
Greenwich
so to
Village
speak.
girl for many years.
Yeah. So
You know, I would love, for me, it'd be perfect, a place here and a place back in the West Village.
I've said for the past 30 years, I've said if I ever win the lottery, first thing I would do after helping a few people out, of course, is get a little flat in the village.
We could
Just-
all,
and
you
get-
know what,
and
we
get
could
like
all
30
do that and share the flight. We could talk
I was
about
going to
off
say we'll
camera.
get 30 keys made, and everybody that wants to go there, we'll just fill out. It'll be like a
used to live
time.
at
a timeshare, yeah.
Because how many
87
times
Barrow Street.
Yeah.
It was an amazing place.
How
to-
often would you go into the city to enjoy all that it has to offer if you didn't have to deal with the crap about trying to get home on a train or on
Or
a bus,
figuring out
or
what
if you're gonna
hotel to stay at
drive
that you know is
yourself?
clean.
Yeah, and you know, you're out to dinner, you go out to a show, should I have that extra cocktail? Gee, that would be fun, but now I got to drive home. You know, God, to live in
Or have to
have
be
a-
on time for the jitney or the train.
right, to be in just to have a place to crash in, it would be such
I
a great thing.
absolutely love it.
So if anybody out there has an extra place,
Let
and-
us know. Yes,
yeah.
let us know.
Yeah,
Or
Jay
in
and I
case
might.
you're not using
Jay and I might need to crash it in a couple
Yeah.
times in case we get a gig in the
So,
city.
we'll talk again in a little while. Would the two of you honor us with some rhythm?
We'll do worse than that.
Sure.
You're gonna do worse than that.
I thought you never
I
asked.
am not responsible for anything from this point on.
Well,
This is a kind of a classic.
We
You
aren't really.
almost hear every bar band play it, but it's something to get us warmed up and kind of
Okay.
ease into it. The only key on guitar. All right, so here we go. Well, I hear that train a-coming, rolling down that bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since whistle, lying my head and cry. Well, I bet there's rich folks here in that fancy dining car, and I know they're drinking coffee and they're smoking big cigars. I knew I had it coming, baby, I just can't be free. Oh no, and those people keep on moving, well that's what tortures me. Alright, I'm gonna try to play one more. Check it out. Well, if they free me from that prison, that railroad track of mine, I'd probably move it on a little farther down that line. I'm going far from Folsom Prison. That's where I'd want to stay. Alright, and I'd let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away. I said I'd let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away.
He's an animal.
I love it. Thank you
silly.
so much. Oh, that was so good. Are we awake now?
I think they got some blood flowing.
Yes, a little bit.
Yeah.
This is the
Listen
first
to
time I've touched the harmonica to my mouth since I had COVID.
So quiet.
The vibrations in the rooms are just.
Yeah.
So talking about vibrations and rhythm, and Lindsay knows I love this. So when I talk about Reiki or anything, and I teach, I talk about the rhythms of our bodies, the rhythms of our lives. And I did an adult education class at a library a few years ago, and it was called Rhythms of Our Lives. People had no idea, and I had this wonderful gentleman, Sakani, Walter Perazaka, as
cool.
my musical accompaniment, and he is from Peru and plays the beautiful wooden
Pan flute,
windows.
right?
My goodness.
Yeah, you see him at a
So-
lot of the festivals and stuff.
And I had my djembe and my frame drum. So when I was speaking to the people, and I said, we all have a different rhythm of our life. Your breath is a different rhythm than my breath.
Right.
How your blood flows through your body, your heart, your veins, and everything is a different rhythm than each of us. We are all the same humans, but we're all so unique and so different. So the rhythm of how I speak, how I move my hands or don't move my hands when I speak, the rhythm of how I walk is all very unique to me. You could see someone 2 blocks away coming towards you if
kinda
you're
know
not
who it
legally
is.
blind.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, if
you
that, yeah.
recognize the rhythm of their walk.
Yeah. Yeah, the gate.
You know, it's just, to me, it's so fascinating. And our individual rhythms make up this tapestry that comes in, to me, comes as sound or colors. And the tapestry of like meeting Diane and Lindsay, it becomes an extended family
That was a good day.
thing of just this beautiful tapestry being woven.
Yeah.
So when you are writing music or when you're playing something that has already been created and you bring that in and freshen that up in your tapestry, in your rhythm, how is there a way to explain how that works?
Man, I don't know if you can really explain it. It's kind of a hard thing to put into words,
Yeah.
you know? It's kind of abstract, but
It's more of a feel.
it's
than
more of a
words,
feeling, but
yeah.
you know when it's happening. Kind of. You're aware of it, but I don't know. I don't think there's an easy answer for that, really.
So for people that feel that they have no rhythm,
That can be true for certain people, by the way.
can you have no
I've seen
rhythm
this.
or
I've
your
seen it.
rhythm is just so different?
I see. That's an interesting question. I've teach guitar lessons on the side as well, and I've
Okay.
seen people who have natural rhythm who can play and clap in time, right?
Yeah.
And then I've seen other people who cannot even just keep a steady pulse. And I'm like,
Okay.
have you ever danced? Did you and your wife dance? You know, like
Yeah.
It seems like the rhythm is so off internally. Whether that maybe they have, you know, they're struggling with something that's deeper than just
Yeah.
surface level, but I've seen people who appear to have no rhythm, and then
Yes,
certain people
we've
have
seen
natural
people
rhythm.
at a wedding or another celebration on the dance floor and say everyone else is on this rhythm and they're, and you can't watch them
Yeah.
while you're dancing.
It's kind of when you run into somebody that's tone deaf, like at a karaoke or something.
Oh yeah.
You know, but they're so happy. You know,
Because they are
They have
happy
their own
and
rhythm.
comfortable in that unique rhythm.
Right.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
for me, when I go out on the back deck or I'm in the house, poor cats, and I pull one of the tubano or the djembe out, if I just do to almost like scales warming up when I used to play the piano, the cats are very happy with that. When the more bass and solid and fluid that rhythm is. But as soon as I start like going off, they'll look at me and go, "Oh, we're out of here. She's crazy." You know, as soon as it's still rhythm and it's still good, but it's they were going for
Wasn't
that
theirs.
solid lower earth tone, you know, earth based. So rhythm in our lives is really, really different.
Oh yeah, it's the most fun. It's some of the most fun I
Once
have.
you realize you have your own unique rhythm, it just becomes, for me, it becomes magical.
Well, even playing, it's why I delve into percussion stuff, because it's just so fun to shake and bang on stuff. And,
Right.
you know, it's
very
sort of like
primal,
sitting still dancing.
you know?
You know?
Yeah.
Before there were string instruments, there were drums and chanting. You
Yeah.
know?
When I think Lindsay had me on speaker when we were in our cars on the way here, and I was listening to WPKN and they had on taiko drumming. To me, that is heaven. It's equivalent to listening to Baba Alatunji, you know, one of those old recordings, because it comes from the core of the being of the person
You
that
feel it.
is feeling their rhythm
You feel
through
it
that
physically,
instrument.
emotionally. You feel it in so many different ways.
And music needs to be brought into all the mental health facilities and industries, because to me, music and sound is so healing.
I would like to see music in all the animal shelters too. And
Well, there are people that read to the animals. They need to bring music into that.
I've never been to a shelter. I've been to some wonderful shelters. The Riverhead shelter, it's run so beautifully.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a nice sound system in each shelter, and just play some soothing music. Because I mean, that would
When
make
I
such
leave-
it would make such a difference in the demeanor of some of these dogs that aren't
does.
sure about people. They're all of a sudden relaxed still, you know.
When I leave the house every day, I have on smooth jazz playing for the cats, and that's because I love it, and they're so accustomed to it.
Yeah.
You know, and there's nothing wild and crazy. But then when I'm home, you know, I might switch it up a little bit. You know, have some Motown going or something.
There you go.
Speaking of Motown, you don't have to do Motown,
Oh, I
but
love Motown
let's
music.
do. What do you got for us now?
Motown. All right, let's dig deep on that one. I got midnight hour. I've done a little How Sweet It Is. Gosh, you know,
You
Tina
pick.
Turner.
What do you
pick.
feel like?
Second That Emotion, old Smokey Robinson tune. Let's do that one.
Oh yeah.
You got any Motown with a little bit of bluesy influence?
Man, I can put blues on it.
Okay, let's put some bluesy stank.
We're
Bluesy
gonna put a
stank.
layer of frosting
Put a little
on
bluesy
this.
stank on that Motown.
Say, maybe you'd like to give me kisses sweet, but only for a night and no repeat. Maybe you'll go away and never call. Well, a taste of honey is worse than none at all. Oh, little girl, in that case, I don't want to part. That would only break my heart. Whoa, if you feel like loving me, anytime that notion, second that emotion. Yeah, if you feel like giving me a lifetime of devotion, I second that emotion. Alright. Maybe you think that love might tie you down. You ain't got no time to hang around. Maybe you think that love might make you fool.
second that emotion. Yeah! If you feel like giving me a lifetime of devotion, I second that emotion.
I'm so happy. I love
Unexpected.
doing this. This is so much fun. How do
was a
people
surprise
find you?
Um,
Where do we find
talking
you?
to my agent, Mr. Lindsay Reeve. No,
No, actually, especially for lessons.
I am. I'm on Instagram, Shep Sound, JAYSHEP Sound. My last name's spelled SHEPARD.
Okay.
My YouTube channel is J Shepard Music. It's also jshepardmusic.com.
Okay.
I'm not that hard to find, I guess. I'm around.
Okay.
you know?
We'll find you.
Yeah. A lot of people see me walking down the streets of Riverhead. I'm trying to get in my steps count for the day. No, seriously, I've been walking and just for exercising to get out of the house and stuff. And I've been seen by like various friends, and they're like honking, like I'm like,
What are you doing here, right?
Legends, like he's still walking to this day. Like the homeless guitar player with the beard and the hair.
Well, a lot of them are saying, "Oh, Jay got a DBI, I guess."
Yeah.
That's
People
what I
love
see when
to
I see
start
anybody
their own
with
little rumors.
Anytime I see somebody, an adult riding a bike without a helmet, I'm thinking, all right,
Yeah,
you
Yeah,
guys busted.
I'm so sorry, honey.
Yeah, no.
We have to talk about judgments, right?
Oh, judgments. Now, we better not talk about judgments.
No.
No room for that.
So what else have you got up your sleeve? What do you want to play, Linz?
I want to play anything he throws out. That's it.
Anything.
We were talking on the way here. We were talking about.
Yeah, Jay did not know that we just fly by the seat of our pants.
Yeah. He was saying he called me. What was it, yesterday or? We talked and said, "Hey, you want to get together? We can rehearse a couple of things." I said, "No."
No,
I said,
we don't do that.
I said, "Phoenix's show is about as organic as you can get on any TV station, and we're going to go in cold." And Jay and I we've fooled around a little bit now and then musically, but we've never actually sat down and played a song from one end to the other.
Yeah.
Together until
first.
your show.
So this is
But
the first.
we've been talking about this duo thing for a while, which is what we're going to do. We're starting this
Right.
this Saturday at Kenny's on the Green over at what used to be the
So,
Outer Banks restaurant. At
What
Indian
used to
Island
be the Outer Banks at Indian Island Golf Course.
Oh, yeah. Oh, whatever.
You could now find Kenny's on the Green, this great little cafe.
Nicest people in the world.
And it's breakfast on Saturday and Sunday.
Breakfast Saturday and Sunday.
Dinner Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah. And
lunch
it's
on
lunch Monday through
Friday.
Yeah.
And dinner on Friday.
Yeah.
And
I think it's
I was
breakfast
telling
on
the
Friday,
guys,
too.
I was there yesterday and I had shrimp salad that was out of this world. And Saturday night we were all there with Ahmed Ali.
Oh my God, what a
And we had
night.
scallop risotto and everything that Jim makes.
Yeah, it's special. Everything's
Jim
special.
is the chef who used to own Sonny's on Main Street.
Jim
If
Lazenki.
any of you remember that. It's just such a wonderful, warm, local place.
Yeah.
It really is.
And it's owned by my friend Kenny Soller, who's a great electrician too. We all call him Sparky, but he's better than that.
We call him Sparky or homeless. Yeah, we just.
Yeah, it's probably the
Because
nickname
we're
for every
so
electrician.
nice, yeah.
And his sweetie Claudia. I mean, they're just. You don't even want to leave after you're done eating because you just want to hang out.
It's a
you know?
really
Yeah,
wonderful.
it's a
You're going to go
great
there
place.
today. You can see it's.
Yeah,
just
we're going
a
to have some lunch on the
wonderful
way
place.
back. Yeah.
It's a
I'm
really
hoping he's
good-
still got some gumbo left from the weekend.
Okay. If you're lucky,
Yep.
you're lucky. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you could
good guys.
always call them and find out what they're playing, who's playing, and things like that.
I just started booking there. In fact, Ahmed was the first one this past Saturday, and we're the second. But I just started booking there every Saturday night, 5:30. It's easy hours for everybody too, not only for the musicians but for the people coming out to see them.
Right.
5:30 to 8:30, minimum anyway. Lots of times we go on.
Last week
longer.
they asked him to
Yeah,
stay longer.
yeah, he did another hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
The
you
whole
can count
place
it.
was singing.
You
Everyone
can count
there
on
was
music
singing.
being at Kenny's on the Green every Saturday night.
Okay.
Quality music.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Definitely
we're not just
quality
talking music.
Quality.
Proper vibrations.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. The proper vibrations will be there.
We've all walked
Good
into
band
a
name.
place, and people watching also. we've all walked into either a business establishment, a restaurant, or someone's home to a party, and sometimes you feel really welcome, and you walk right in, and sometimes you're like, I don't think I want to stay here.
Yeah.
Or I'm okay, but I just don't want to go over to that group of people or that person. And that's just your instinct of where you belong and where you don't belong, like with the rhythms of your life, the rhythms of your body.
I actually booked for Kenny's on the Green for Uber Geek Brewers in Polishtown.
Yes.
That's a wonderful place too. You got to.
Gene Casey was there the other
Yeah, we had
day.
Gene Casey there last Friday night.
That was the first
He's
time I
an
seen
Casey and the Loan
awesome-
Sharks.
Oh man,
He
it's
is
incredible.
Oh my
an
God.
awesome energy. And
One of my
entertainer.
favorite people in the world. I used to be in the band called Who Are Those Guys? And we were doing, we were fairly popular. And we would get nominated, 3 years in a row, we got nominated through Dance Paper's Best of the Best Local Bands.
Yeah.
And so was Gene. And yeah, the remnants of Who Are Those Guys probably won't like to hear this, but I always voted for Gene because I thought he was better.
Gene is amazing.
You're honest.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it. Gene is just, it's so genuine.
And most of us voted for you, but you know, it is what it is. you
Wow.
know,
I
it
love
is
that
what-
rockabilly stuff coming
Yeah.
from South Carolina, like
Yeah.
bluegrass music, old country, stuff like that. Like it's right up my alley. And Gene is just such a presence.
Oh, God, yeah.
He is it.
I mean, he's like 7'4", I believe.
Oh, with
legally.
his
He's ridiculous.
With his hat and
Skinny
cowboy
jeans.
boots
And
on,
he
yeah.
Have you
Skinny
seen him do the
jeans,
split?
Yeah, and yes, and his cowboy boots, you know, with the heel. It's like,
Yeah.
and he's such
He's a loving
darling,
individual.
gentle soul.
He's a loving individual.
He's a
he
golden
is.
heart, that
Yeah.
one.
One of my favorite things, his wife didn't come this past week, and I went up to him after a song. I said, "Where's your wife?" I said, "She's actually 50% of why I booked you."
Yeah.
Yeah, because she dances to all his songs, and it's like it's
She's
like
his
somebody that
cheerleader.
just wound up being smitten with somebody for the first time. Only she's been with him for a long time. So that's just so inspirational to see
First
her
time I
loving
saw
him
her do
so
that
much. You know?
was when we were at Sonny's.
Yeah, yeah,
Years
yeah.
ago.
Oh, my
And
God,
Jean
wasn't
was
that great?
playing, and she was sitting with us.
Yeah.
And Jean started to
Lovely
play, and
girl.
she got up, and that connection between the two of them was just so beautiful.
It was just like unspoken oneness. And it was just, yeah.
Sonny's
She's,
used to have music?
what's that?
Sonny's had music?
Sonny's had
Yeah,
music.
I was doing Saturday night, Saturday, kind of like we're the same time frame we're doing at Kenny's on the
Yeah.
Green.
Okay, cool.
And I see clients on Saturday. So for me, get out of clients. Sometimes I have time to go home for a few minutes or not, and then zip into Sonny's, but now I'll be zipping into Kenny's.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's the perfect way
Yeah.
for me to end my week.
Do you work from
begin.
home, or is there a space? In this?
I have space in the old post office in Riverhead,
Oh yeah.
where I see clients for hypnosis, past life regressions, ear candling. We should do an ear candling on the show one day.
I was
About
actually
it
telling him
in the
about it.
parking lot.
Ear
Yeah.
candling,
Yeah.
no one drops wax into your ear. You
No.
can
No,
contact
something
me.
like
I'll
that.
explain ear candling to
It's
you.
so
It's
cool.
non-invasive. I've been doing it for over 30 years now.
I was
It's
telling him
amazing.
that one of the first times you ever did it on me, I think halfway through it, I had to use the bathroom or something, and I was in the bathroom, and I saw you had done one side,
And
and
you
my
saw-
face was different. It wasn't as swollen. Like this side all of a sudden seemed puffy because you
Yeah.
already did this.
It's really
It was-
amazing.
Yeah,
Never
it
had
clears
that
out your
When I have a
sinuses.
client
It's
and they're on the
wild.
massage table in my office and you're face up, you turn your head to one side and I cover you up, protect just your ears out,
Mm-hmm.
do the ear candle. And then I see you from this angle, so I could see if I did this side first, this side is so much lower because it evaporates all the fluid that presses in on your sinuses. And it hurts. And the longer the fluid sits there, the more bacteria grows. So we want to get it out. And I make house calls to Lindsay and Diane. It's the best when I'm there because I have them, I have the dogs, I have
Dogs.
Squirrel, and
Dogs are your
they
tip.
make wonderful dinners for me. But it's such a beautiful, non-invasive modality.
Yeah, it's
And
neat.
one of the doctors I worked for
So
taught
relaxing.
me. And it's just, and I do Reiki on you while I do that too.
Yeah.
So it's
And when
kind of
obvious that you
yummy.
do.
It's yummy stuff.
Yeah.
So enough about me. Music, please.
All
I
right.
also booked for Jamesport Farm Brewery.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's
Uber Geek, Jamesport Farm Brewery,
and Stonewalls
and Stone.
on at Tree Creek Golf Course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Run by a guy named Oscar, who is. Where do you meet Oscar, man? You're gonna love yourself some Oscar.
Okay.
He's just such a upstanding good guy. Yeah. And his whole staff is great. But Oscar started there years ago as a Honduran immigrant washing dishes, and now he manages the place. He's the true consummate immigration success story. I'm so proud of this kid.
Yeah.
He's so great. Yeah. And the food is great too.
Yeah, of course.
But
we are
gotta
definitely
go
food oriented
yourself
in
to
this
Oscar at
crowd.
least.
Yeah, we are very food oriented. Saturday night, Diane was making sure that there was enough gumbo left over,
Yeah.
you know, in the kitchen that Lindsay could have it when he
I
got
had an
in.
airport run. I didn't get back to
Till about
opera
8.
Until, yeah, 8
It's
o'clock.
funny that you guys, we had gumbo Saturday in the city that we made. We picked up a
Oh, no.
packet of gumbo season when we were in Jim Thorpe, PA. I don't know if you guys ever been to that
Yeah,
little
sure.
town.
Yeah.
Sure.
Had like the little, the Polar Express that runs
Yeah.
through there, you know, but I had some friends over that I hadn't seen in a while, and Victoria made up this big pot. It was like, it's just things that we had, you know.
How good
Yeah.
is that?
Unbelievable, but the coincidence,
Yeah.
you know. 'Tis the season for some gumbo, I
Is
guess.
the season for gumbo or chili?
There are parallels now.
Yes. So what you going to play for us now?
It's me.
Would you mind if I played a song I wrote?
Please do.
Yeah. Boy, you don't even have to worry about BMI or ASCAP at all this time.
It's kind of got a 2-beat 4 on the floor vibe if you want to come in whenever. It's an A major.
Okay, I'm going to listen to you since I never heard it, and
All right.
I'll fall in when necessary.
It's called Set Your Sights. Every day I'm falling closer to your heart. Every moment calling, I'm looking for a start. And I can all the time that a man could want. Still I just don't know what's wrong with you. I've got to catch your eye, make you cry, do or die. It's love or a lie. Rest your eyes with me, my love. I need you to breathe. Count your stars with 3, my love. Set your sights on me. Stay past, we're still friends. I want more. This friendship is. I'll make you laugh and give you sigh. If you cry, I'll dry your eyes. Rest your eyes with me, my love. I need you to breathe. Count your stars with 3, my love. Set your sights on me. Well, I know you've heard it all before, and you think that I'm a whore. Everything you thought you knew becomes a social chore. But you feel and can't deny that this is something more. And now you've got to trust your heart and feel alive like never before. Rest your eyes with me, my love. I need you to breathe. Count your stars with 3, my love. Set your sights on me. Set your sights on me. Set your sights on me. Set your sights on me, my love. Set your sights on me, my love.
Awesome.
That's a nice.
Thank
song,
you.
man. Never
Did you
heard
write that for your sweetheart?
The sweetheart that had yet to manifest itself in my life.
Okay.
So now I give her credit for it. you know.
Yes. Well, you
Well,
called
she
her
left you
in.
with a good song, at least.
Yeah, I know. It's like
Yeah.
kind of willing it into existence, you know?
It's like a vision board
Yeah, it's a
in
nice one.
music, a
Exactly.
musical vision board.
Yeah.
Because we do that.
That's a
You
nice
know, we
hat.
do create.
Nice, happy, positive kind of song. Yes, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love when you said the word whore and it was like, oh,
Because it's so romantic and serious, but then a little bit of tongue in cheek. So
Yeah.
It's not so like gushy gushy. That's also a little bit of truth in that, you know?
yeah. You could get away with it here. That's absolutely fine.
When I said it, I was like,
Yeah, I saw the look, and you cracked me up with
slap
that.
on the wrist.
It's like, no, oh no, no. We've had some spicy conversations on this show. Yes.
Yeah, this is a great place to go and
Yes,
talk.
most definitely. And like we were talking before we went on air about the last time that Jan Hanna played here,
Oh,
and
God,
I had
I miss Jan so
mentioned
much.
to Jay that show was called Roadkill and Conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, we never know where it's going to go, and that's part of the fun of doing the whole thing.
Yeah, it is.
Is that
That's
we just
exactly
have-
why I said, no, I don't want to rehearse for this.
Yeah.
I get it.
You know,
Yeah.
it kind of like puts you in a box, and I don't think any of us function very well.
Yeah, like we were talking about on the way here, it's good to, if you want to rehearse, to work out a new song or work out some
Right.
kinks or a couple of rough spots in another song or something you remember from the last gig. Hey, let's just go through this part. But as far as the, constantly, I've played with a lot of musicians that just constantly, go weekly practice. Some bands twice a week. I got to
Beat a dead
practice.
horse.
We have to be perfect. No, man.
You're supposed to
to
have
me, they're missing the
fun.
point. Where's the perfection? It's all perfect.
Yeah.
And it's like I used to play with a guy that was so technically unbelievable, but he would get like this when he hit it just slightly wrong note.
I can hear you,
Nobody
man.
played guitar like that.
I know who we're
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
I'm not
Yes,
gonna say.
yes.
Shall remain
And
nameless.
but the
He
thing-
shall remain nameless because
Yeah.
look at how miserable he made himself.
That's the way
when
I
he
saw
could have
it.
been having joy.
That's why we don't play.
When I
anymore.
was on the dance team, because after I got my divorce, dancing and music saved me so many times in my life. And you talked about your home. One of the wonderful gifts my mom gave me, may she rest dancing in heaven, was music. She loved like McNamara's band and like
Yeah,
anything upbeat. And she would, I'm the youngest of three, and she would give us pot covers, a pot and a spoon, and you'd march around the
Go
house
ahead,
and
man.
make music. And that was like the best.
Yeah.
It was like absolutely the best to have this music fed into you.
Whenever that would happen, he'd grimace it when he hit a wrong note. And I said, well, you just told the whole audience you hit a wrong note. Nobody knew that.
Nobody knew.
You
And-
knew it, and I knew it, but nobody else knew that. And worst case scenario, when that happens, I always say it was jazz for a split second.
It was.
You know?
When I was out,
Play the
yeah,
slices bebop.
Yeah, if you play places, bebop, exactly.
when I was not a go-go girl, and when I was teaching country western dancing, country western line dancing, because music and dance always saved me out of whatever horrible, emotional, whatever things were going on.
That's-
And like your folks were so proud of you, you got to Broadway. I didn't get to Broadway, but I was on a dance team, and we did a lot of traveling. It was
Age
the
at World's
original
Fair.
Dancing Boots, and they used to call me Lizzie Boots. I think I have more nicknames than God knows what. And when I would be teaching, I love to teach because I love to see like when you get it.
Yeah.
You know, and I would never pick, I would say, no, honey, your other left foot. You know, because and I'd face my back to them so you could see it's not opposite and stuff. But when we were up doing a performance, you don't call attention to your misstep. You just keep going on. You look at your partner if you have one or if it's solo, and it's like, what the heck? You work it in. You stay in character as if you were an actor. You just stay in character and have fun with it. But we had someone, a team leader, and she wanted to rehearse twice a week.
Ouch.
We all knew the routines we were doing. When you learn a new one
That'd
and
make
you
you start to not
incorporate
like
it in,
Yeah.
fine, Sunday afternoon, 3-4 hours. We were all dancers. We all knew what we were doing. But she was like that gentleman. It was like, it had to be so fine-tuned. And then you're not having any fun anymore. Then you're
No, it's
so
just that.
conscious of, oh, is my foot that much ahead of his foot? It's like,
I've done gigs before where it's like a tribute towards a major artist, so everything has to be really specific. But we do these fly dates, and we would have the theater the day of the show, and we'd have a 3-hour performance coming up at 7. But we'd get there at noon, and the director would want to run the entire show.
Oh, wow.
And like
boy.
Every single song?
every single song, because he's got to work on his light cues and this and that. And
Okay.
they're like,
Two concerts for the
you're
price of
killing,
one. man.
exactly. You're wearing, and as a result of
that
that,
natural
we've had,
energy.
Yeah, we've lost energy.
it's
The
just-
shows haven't been as good as the sound checks sometimes. The tech rehearsals,
Yeah.
So
You
yeah,
had more fun doing the tech.
sometimes people have to tell you that little fact that hey, it's okay, let it go. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, when I first started out, when I had my high school band, like I was concerned about messing up and being embarrassed about somebody else seeing it.
Yeah.
I remember this one time, my dad nipped it in the bud really quickly. Like we were playing, it was our first gig. I was like 13 years old. We shouldn't have been in a bar or whatever, but the drummer messed up the intro.
In South Carolina?
Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah, then it's fine. But I turned around and I may have even said something over the mic, and I regret it to this day. And I apologized profusely to the guy. But my dad pulled me aside after the show. He's like, "Don't you ever do that." He's not even a musician, you know. He's just like code of conduct and stuff like that. You know, be a professional. Don't call out your friend and your bandmate. And I just felt like, and since that day, I was like, I got it, loud and clear. You know.
Yeah, it's like your other left foot. It's okay.
Not a big deal.
know?
People aren't there to see you play everything perfect. They're there to have a good time and see you have a good time.
Definitely.
Most of the best major inventions and discoveries were by mistake.
By mistake. And when we
So
look at the old jazz
I'm
musicians.
trying to make the perfect mistake.
Yeah, the perfect one. You know, when you
Oxymoron
watch
right there.
NPR or PBS and they have the specials on of like, you know, Louis Armstrong and things like that, or you watch Sinatra, you know, and Tony Bennett together, you know, when you see those old time singers and musicians, when they were screwing up, they just laughed at it and kept going on.
Yeah.
You know, they didn't stop and say, "Man, I'm so sorry, you know, let's start again."
If you can make fun of yourself in that moment, the crowd loves that. That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
what I like.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I've seen big concerts or like in front of 20,000 people where the band messed up a song they've been playing for 20 years.
And they break up laughing.
and they break up laughing like sorry,
everybody else is
and the
rolling
crowd
on the floor.
erupts into and the crowd just starts cheering.
because it shows how human you are.
Fallible, we're all
When
human.
I was
honest.
dancing at the Metropole, this is how I lost the job, though.
Go on.
My parents,
do
my
tell.
parents came to see me. I don't remember if my sisters did. My agent was there, and this is how old my agent was back then. He was married to Little Egypt.
No
The
way.
name Little Egypt.
No way.
She was a burlesque,
Yeah.
famous burlesque stripper or whatever.
know.
So Nat Sutton was my agent, and he was married to her. So he got me this gig at the Metropole, and the Metropole sits right on Broadway. I don't even know if the building is still there, and it was a glass front. So you'd walk in, and to your left was the bar, this huge bar, and behind the bartenders were 3 platforms, 3 or 4 platforms. First platform, a dancer. Middle platform, the band, yay band, and then 1 or 2 other platforms for dancers on the other side. We have fluff flying. So I loved working there. I was having a great time. Again, can't see anything. I knew where the edge was that I wouldn't go over, and it was very slippery. So there I am in my gorgeous costume, high boots, and dancing, and I know my folks are out there, and I know my agent's out there, and I used to be known for high kicks. And yeah.
Hey, before the show's over.
And I did a high, yeah, right. And I did a high kick, and the heel of my boot didn't stay on the platform, and I was airborne,
Oh no! Would you come down flat on your back?
and I came down flat on the bartender.
Wow.
Boom, softened my landing. It
he a
was
skinny guy or
lovely.
heavy-set guy?
You have some cushion?
Oh, he was cushioned. It was good. I was
good.
I was very
why I
skinny
asked.
because you had it was, and I went whoosh, boom,
Oh,
and yeah, that was the end. I was just so embarrassed. I couldn't go back. You see that one? She's the one that flew
still
off
think
the
about it,
main-
you're like, oh.
It's like, oh my God. And my mom and my dad said to me, "But you did it so elegantly. You know, it wasn't like a klutz flying through the air, which is what it felt like. It was like, you know, you just so gracefully flew off, legs in the air, and your butt landed right on him."
And if you were really good, you made it look like you meant to do that.
Maybe I did, and it was way before cell
That's how
phones
she used
and
to flirt with
videotape.
bartenders.
Yes,
Yes,
that's right.
definitely flirt with bartenders.
Got
You
so
know,
many
we've all
free
had
drinks
those
that way.
moments. There was no saying, "Oh, by the way, I made a mistake." I mean, it was right.
Yeah.
That one was right there, you know, and people did applaud.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a new move. for them.
It
I've
was
never
a
seen that
brand new
before. She
move.
learned that.
It
I
was
grew
a-
up with a great example for just that. My grandfather, Grandpa Reeve, we'd go down to Grandma and Grandpa's house for dinner when I was a little kid, and we'd have this big, beautiful dinner. And afterwards, everybody would sit around and listen to Grandpa tell stories about all the stupid things he ever did in his life, and he would laugh. And I'm thinking, this is a good example, you know.
Yeah.
Because every little goofy thing that he ever did in his life, we all heard it 50 times. I'm already starting to do that, by the way.
Yeah, but it's so much
told me
fun
that
to
like 3
laugh
times.
at ourselves.
Yeah,
think
that's
it's
just it. You know.
And it's important to,
Keep it
it's
light.
almost like passing down a little bit of oral family humor history, you know?
Yeah.
My family does the same thing. We get together on the front porch and have a couple drinks, and
Yeah.
everybody tells stories about when Granddad did this, or I chopped down the wrong tree, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So I think that's important.
Yeah. We could all definitely write some books.
I had only one chicken in my chicken yard that had a name, Henry. And who do you think my grandpa came to grab one day to
Henry,
take
for
for
dinner.
dinner? Yeah, I said,
not
Grandpa,
supposed to name them."
that's the only one that's got a name. Take one of those ladies. Henry is my pet. And then this tough old guy, he was salty as hell, man. I raised such a fuss. I even rode my bike all the way back down because we lived 2 farms apart.
Yeah.
So I rode my bike all the way across the farm lots and got there just to see who was pulling in to chop Henry's head off. And I called him I was little, so the worst thing I could think of was dirty old man. So I said, "You dirty old man!" I didn't know any curse words yet. You know? If I had. So, and that old cuss. I mean, I still respect him to this day, but he had the gall to invite me to dinner for chicken.
Whoa.
Yeah.
But he was such a good guy. Anyway, I don't know how we got onto that, but here we are.
I don't know, but we do tend to do that. We do tend to do that in a little circle.
Getting back to that perfection thing.
Yeah.
I always tell if anybody wants perfection, go to see an Eagles concert. Go to an Eagles concert. You want perfection, you know.
There you go.
Otherwise, it's just like putting on a record, which is the only thing I don't appreciate about seeing the Eagles live.
Or the
They're like
$700
listening to the
tickets.
record.
Yeah.
You know? There's no.
There's
anything different.
There's no extra life in
Yeah,
it. There's
I mean,
no
it's
life.
beautiful. It's wonderful music, and every note, every favorite note that you have on that particular album and that particular song is there every
But
single
it's
time.
by rote. There's.
You could have stayed home and listened to the record.
It's like if you say prayers in the morning. Sometimes you say them so often, so repetitively. It was like, oh, did I just do that one?
Right.
Because you're not
Routine.
you're not really being in the moment. You're
Right.
just being repetitive.
Yeah, no, the Eagles they could do
So-
the Hell Freezes Over tour half asleep.
Yeah.
Because it's just automatic, and it's wonderful. Who's better
Yeah.
than them? But
I think they are
That's-
doing it now. They're on tour again.
Yeah.
are they really?
Glenn Fry's son.
Well, now, yeah,
Oh, wow.
for Glenn.
Is that right?
and everyone's doing a lot of Meatloaf now that he's passed.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, it seems like the beginning of the year, there's usually an exodus
Mm-hmm.
going out. So,
Yeah.
I didn't prepare any meatloaf, so don't transition into that.
oh no, I'm not. I wouldn't do that to you. No, that I would have warned you before. It's like, don't do that to me. Don't do that.
Let me
We
see
have
That's right.
15 minutes.
Right.
But you-
Yeah, oh my God. Any ZZ Top?
Yeah, I got some. Easy
Oh
time.
Oh, I had the
man.
best ZZ Top band up at Jamesport last year.
Mm.
A
Yours
band called
included, right?
Sharp Dress Band. was the
And I
name of it.
couldn't go because I was working.
Yeah, exactly.
Darn.
You would have just melted.
You played with
I
them
know.
too.
Yeah, I did. They were so good, man.
I
Yeah,
have
I'm gonna have them back too.
a recording out. We're doing like tribute projects with this community called Turbo Tribeca Music Community. It's a
Yeah.
group of musicians, partially from on Long Island, partially in the city. But like Joe Vitale, who's actually toured with the Eagles,
Mm-hmm.
used to play with Joe Walsh. Danny Miranda, who's a local Long Island guy who tours
Yeah.
with the Oyster Cult. We get together and we do tributes. So we've done a Hendrix tribute, but we just recently, when Dusty Hill passed, we did
Yeah.
Sunglasses and God, what was the other one? I think it was Thank You, I Thank You. But that's more of a full band tune. If you want to see some ZZ Top,
Yeah.
you guys are gonna have to come out Friday at Uber Geek.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a huge fan of them. If you haven't seen the documentary, that little old band from Texas, very nice.
I have to. I love them.
So
I
good.
mean,
Oh, that's right. You are playing Friday at Uber Geek, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. That would be the
Yeah.
fourth, depending on what day
yeah,
this is.
that's they are my driving music.
They are.
Oh, yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
ZZ Top is
Yeah.
my driving music. In a couple of weeks, I'm going to my son in Jersey, and it's all set already. And David will say to me, how did you get here so fast?
ZZ Top.
Oh, ZZ Top.
The Grange kicked in, and I just
Yeah, I
floored
just
it.
can't do it. ZZ Top and Queen,
Mm-hmm.
just like
What's like a top three? I know it's hard to pick a favorite. Do you have, don't say Bohemian Rhapsody. I mean, you can, but something besides that, maybe.
oh,
So,
oh my God, every single one.
I'll go. I Want to Break Free.
Break free, yes,
Don't Stop Me Now.
yes.
And probably Tie Your Mother Down.
Oh my gosh, yes. My son David, who knows Lindsay well, they
That's
are
probably
two
one of his favorite
characters
songs, Tie
together.
Your Mother Down.
when Bohemian Rhapsody first came out, I've always had convertibles. David would be in the passenger seat, and Bohemian Rhapsody would come on, and we would crank it, and the crazy mother and son,
Headbanging.
the whole thing. And he knows when I leave this earth, that has to be one of the main songs played at my homecoming.
Nice.
It just has to
Love
be.
it.
Oh,
It's just got to be.
Good choice.
Yeah. So we
hope I
have
live long enough to see it.
what, honey? Yes, Smarty Pants, you better be there. You have to get the music together for me. I want Walela.
I have to outlive you, huh?
There's Walela. I have to do the fourth cut on that, and then there's a Boney James. Is
Off
it
Derek
Boney
and the
James?
Dominoes, right?
And then there's Boney James, Trail of Tears.
Oh,
That you have to do that
Trail
when
of
it starts
Tears.
with shik, 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 shik.
Is it Bell Bottom Blues? Is that number 4?
Yes.
Oh, what a tune. Love
Yeah.
it.
So I'm getting my playlist ready. I don't plan on going anywhere for like 25 years,
Oh, good.
but I want my playlist set up.
Go ahead, set it up. Girl.
Yep.
We only got like 3 minutes left.
So can we get 3.5 minutes of music?
Squeeze
So
some in.
before they start, you can get a hold of Lindsay via
Lindsay Reeve at yahoo.com. That's Lindsay with an A, not an E. LINDSAYREEVE at yahoo.com.
and ta-da.
I'd like to follow that up with an email, which I didn't provide yet.
Oh, please.
JSHEPARD1181 at gmail.com. But also J Shep Sound on Instagram and J Shepard Music on YouTube.
And Phoenix Redhawk. What am I? Oh, email.
You're awesome.
Number 1, Sacred Feather Healing Arts at Gmail. The office is 631-591-2056. And yes, the message is in English and in French. And thank you all for supporting the show and watching it. And stay in touch. Thank you. And thank you both so much for being here. Let it go.
Thank you for having us, Phoenix.
It's been the best.
I want to tell you how it's gonna be. Said you're gonna give your love to me. And I'm gonna love you night and day. Woo! You know our love will not fade away. You know our love will not fade away. Go ahead, Lance. Hey! Well, my love is bigger than a Cadillac. Said I tried to show you, but you drive me back. Your love for me has got to be real. I said that you gonna know just how I feel, baby. Love's real, not fade away. You know our love will not fade away. Not away.
Awesome. Thank you both so much, and thank you all
Thanks
for
for having
watching, and
us.
thanks everybody at LTV. You are all my angels. Thank you so much. Bless you. Do something nice for someone.
Why not?